the Kentucky Wildcats. As LaFonso Ellis just said, he's got them number 2 in the country, currently ranked number 5, and they got a game tonight against the Gamecocks of South Carolina, 4-6 in the conference, and a chance again when Kentucky's in town to make a massive statement. We look forward to this one alongside Jimmy Dykes. I'm Carl Ravitch. Marty Smith joins us shortly. Welcome again to Super Tuesday. When you think about Kentucky, they're peaking. They're a top 10 team offensively. They're a top 10 team defensively. How's Frank Martin's team going to slow them down?
Yeah, it's not easy. Kentucky's hard to guard. I agree with the Fonz. I think Kentucky's right there with anyone in college basketball right now. Offensively, man, they can really put you in a bind. Why? Because they got weapons, Ravi, all over the floor. Let's look at this first play. Grady tucked away in that left corner. He's a three-point shooter with gravity ability. His defender cannot come off and help on the drive. Once the ball gets near the rim, if you do rotate over to try to block the shot, man, that just opens up that dunker spot for Kentucky, and they were so good out against Alabama on Saturday. Very similar play. Grady now is going to move up the floor. His defender can't help on the drive. If you do decide to rotate over, you're going to get dunked on. If you don't and you stay attached, then you give up the layup. Because of those pieces and Kentucky's ability to get downhill, off of their multiple actions, they find ways to get downhill. They are hard to guard and hard to handle.
Well, they played half of their games full strength. They're close to full strength now. When they are full strength, they are a top 3 team in the nation. Oscar Tshiebwe, certainly in line for Player of the Year. He'll jump center. And the ball is controlled by the visiting team in blue, Kentucky. Grady took a little shot in the face on an elbow when he went to grab it. 5. Wheeler, Washington, Grady, Keon Brooks is the unsung hero here in Oscar Tshiebwe.
There is some talk right now about eliminating the jump ball to start games. The toss is very difficult for officials. It's inconsistent, and it's starting to get a little momentum. And I'm not sure it's not the right thing to do.
So what do you do? Coin flip? Home team?
No, the visitors who get the ball out of bounds first, and you go to the alternating possession arrow from there.
So off the turnover, South Carolina, and they will go deep. Bryant's first shot, that's way short. And how about that? An offensive rebound, but a travel against South Carolina. It is rare that you're going to get a rebound defensively or offensively against Kentucky, but Wildens Levesque went in there to get it. They don't put any pressure on him. The starting 5, Devin Carter, Eric Stevenson, James Reese, Keyshawn Bryant, and Wildens Levesque. Bryant is the top scorer and rebounder returning. We will see Jermaine Couisnard, who a couple years ago had a game-winning shot against the Wildcats. This has been a difficult place for them to win. They've lost the last 2 trips in to Colonial Life Arena.
We know this about South Carolina. They are going to get on top of you as a shooter. They're going to top block you on your cuts and deny hard with their body pressure 1 pass away. Kentucky must understand how physical this game's going to be.
Wheeler had a lane. He kicks it. Grady 3, just like Jimmy talked about in the open, and he knocks it down.
That time they find a shooter on the backside, but there's the same action. The ball goes downhill. Kentucky puts you in a bind.
Devin Carter step back. Count it. They're very young in the backcourt. Carter is a freshman. Jacoby Wright is a freshman. Wheeler lost that one. That'll be a turnover. Second of the game for Kentucky.
What Kentucky, Ravi, get down the pipe. And there's really good vision by Wheeler and Grady. Talked to him today about his time working Steph Curry's camps the last 2 summers. Keeping his base always consistent and a quick, consistent, full follow-through on the release.
What will South Carolina try to do offensively? Not turn it over. They did to Tshiebwe, and then he turned it over. That's the 3rd turnover early in this game for Kentucky. What will they try to do offensively?
South Carolina is all about grinding away. They want to play fast offensively and grind away on you defensively. They are heavy in the 2-point part of the floor. Not going to beat you with a lot of threes, but Frank Martin's clubs they're a body blow team on both ends.
Levesque blew right by Tshiebwe. No offensive foul as Ty Washington was waiting for him.
Was he not in the arc?
The referees are discussing it. Take a look at his feet.
No, he's out there. A terrific job by Ty Washington. If any part of your foot is in, on, or above that restricted arc line.
Cal is yelling at Terry Oglesby to go over to the monitor. We have a great look at it. It appeared as if those heels were outside it.
unless he moved that left foot back right before the contact, but he clearly gets outside of it to establish his position there.
You could argue Levesque's momentum forced him into it.
I agree.
Already a bumpy start for the Cats. 3 turnovers and now a call overturned, which could result in a 3-point play as Levesque will go to the free throw line. Cal and Oglesby are getting into it.
In this league, you cannot ride the wave of emotion that you felt from the last game. And Cal had a ton of momentum, as his kids did, coming out of Alabama. But in this league, you got to move on to the next one. That's part of the biggest challenge for Kentucky tonight. Are they at the magic level in Columbia?
Wheeler pressured by Reese. Washington kicks it to Brooks. And a 2-point shot, in and out. Keon's been terrific his last 4 games. He's shooting 50%. A chance to push for Carolina. Kellen Grady knocked it away, and here comes Kentucky. Washington with an easy layup, and they will run when they can.
Kentucky's so good at putting pressure on the rim. And all 5 guys, man, have gazelle-like speed, led by Tshiebwe, 34 in the middle. No post player in the country can get rim to rim faster than Tshiebwe. None.
Good ball fake and a 3. Too strong from Reese.
Wow.
Kusnar's into the game. How about the offensive rebound? Bryant couldn't get it to go, and a 4-on-3 for Kentucky. Ooh, he had Tshiebwe. Now he finds him a little late, but the jump hook is good.
Tshiebwe is so good at sprinting to the rim and just jackhammering his defender right in front of the rim to establish the catch position.
Makes so much of Tshiebwe, who has a game this year in which he had 28 rebounds. He's got 15 a game. You forget he's also the leading scorer on this team.
Yeah.
15 points a game, which puts him into that Player of the Year conversation.
He owns the rim at both ends. And watch Tshiebwe come in, establish position, and then from there, just there's no hesitation. Very quick with his shoulders, very quick with his feet. And very soft touch from Tshiebwe, which adds to him being the best rebounder in all of college basketball. His hands are velvet.
They're taking a look right now, Jimmy, at the clock. It's being explained to both benches. The clock says 17 minutes, 7 seconds. It appears as if it may have stopped at about 17:20 for a few seconds, so they're going to take a look at that. Kentucky comes in 19-4, 8-2 in the conference. They lost to LSU and Auburn. Auburn, over on ESPN2, has a huge test tonight. They're on the road in Fayetteville, where they were lining up about a month ago for that game. With about 15 and a quarter left to go in that game, Auburn is up 9-7. Whether somebody catches Kentucky remains to be seen. The key is ideally being one of the top 4 seeds in the SEC tournament, which gets you a couple of off days in the tournament. You don't play. So Arkansas, Tennessee sitting there at 7-3, and then behind them is a whole host of teams.
That's a big game tomorrow night in Starkville. Tennessee at Mississippi State. And Mississippi State just right there. I believe Joe Lunardi has them as one of the first 4 out right now, and a huge opportunity tomorrow night for the Bulldogs.
Once again, Frank Martin continues to go deep into his bench. Taquan Woodley is into the game. He wears number 55. He was gone for the birth of his daughter, and now he's back just a couple of games. He is physical, nearly set a screen on Wheeler. We've seen how that's ended for Wheeler a couple of times. An aggressiveness on the boards for Bryant, but it's Kentucky coming away with it. They got Tshiebwe down the floor, lays it up and in.
How special is that? The speed of Tshiebwe to get completely out in front of what was a very fast play. Impressive.
0 run for Kentucky. Stevenson can't get it to go. Oscar had it and lost it off of his foot.
Ravi, the speed is special. Watch the hands.
Good
that
pass.
Is a very difficult pass, though, to control going full speed with one paw. And this guy is, he's doing things that are uncommon. He's the leader right now in the National Player of the Year race.
South Carolina's missed their last 5. It's amazing. Let's just watch Kentucky tonight, Jimmy. They all know exactly where to go. They are so trained in these plays and how to run. And watch Wheeler, and everybody goes to a spot. And he's got so many options like that. Too short for Ty Washington. They all go to a spot.
Yeah, their understanding, Kentucky, of transition offense is as good as we have in the game. The big run right down the middle of the floor. The three-point shooters are running to the slots like that. And Severe Wheeler is always a threat to get downhill off of the transition ball screen early.
South Carolina's going to have to make shots if they want to stay in this game. They're 2 for 9. They missed their last 7.
In Kentucky, you want to defend without fouling and not let them get points on the line tonight.
Good deflection and a steal there from Tshiebwe. Severe Wheeler pulls up. He doesn't make that shot. We get a call right here. It's going to go against South Carolina. 9-4 Cats. They're up early over South Carolina. We'll take a timeout. ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is presented by Progressive Insurance. Save when you bundle auto, home, or motorcycle insurance. Visit progressive.com.
The SEC on ESPN. You've heard Jimmy Dykes say it tonight, everyone. Oscar Tshiebwe is the leader in the clubhouse to win the National Player of the Year in college basketball at 15 points and a nation-leading 15 rebounds a night. I talked to Tshiebwe today during Kentucky shoot-around and asked him, are you even surprising yourself? He said, no, the effort does not surprise me, but sometimes the numbers I'm putting up do. I never dreamed I'd be doing this. They're the result of hard work. Then after the game, I look at the stat sheet and I go, wait, what? I did that? When you fight, when you work, when you refuse to quit, the result will be good, and maybe you'll even surprise yourself. And Jimmy, he has surprised the college basketball world this year.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, it was not an easy, fast journey for him to come to Kentucky, which was his dream school, but Cal didn't offer him straight out of high school. And when he transferred from West Virginia, you know, this has not been just an easy path for him. I was talking to him a couple of weeks ago, Marty. His dad was a Pentecostal preacher, and he told his son when he was growing up, hard times are good for you. They drive you to God. And boy, Oscar's faith is real and authentic in his life, and he controls the pulse of this Kentucky team.
Stevenson finally knocks one down. They're doing a heck of a job on the offensive glass, getting second shots. They got 4 offensive rebounds. And Stevenson makes it a 9-6 game. Inside that hole, Frank Martin lit into his team. All about effort. Tshiebwe may have gotten away with extra steps. It's Brooks down on the post. He goes with his left hand, and he knocks it down.
South Carolina's a little undersized at the 4 position, so Calipari kind of inverts his 4 and 5, and lets the 5 feed the 4.
Stevenson, the Washington transfer, another pull-up. That one no good. Brooks came down with the rebound. Look at Wheeler move through some traffic. Finds Grady for a 3, and he buried another one. Boy, Wheeler really is the guy that runs this engine.
Kentucky flattens you out in conversion defense about as quick as anybody in college ball. How do they do it? They run their shooters sprint to the deep corner. They don't shallow cut that initial cut.
Beyond Brooks, in and out. Right down the other end, Keyshawn Bryant, he's got it down low again. He throws it up with too much spin on it. His last shot that he made, a tough shot off the window. He's dragging a little bit right now. The alley-oop works to Tshiebwe.
That empty corner ball screen action by Kentucky is lethal. There's multiple guys that can not only pass it but finish the play.
Jimmy, if they're going to play at this pace and not make their shots, I don't know how they keep this game close. And a good job there by Devin Carter sitting down with the basketball to get a timeout. It's for 30. We'll see South Carolina substitute 3 players in when we come back in 30 seconds.
Let it run. Kentucky's so good in the empty corner action right here. This whole corner right here is empty, so there's no help defense that you have to worry about in that 2-man game. Tshiebwe is going to set the screen, and that's just a naked, empty roll. Look at that whole entire side of the floor is opened up because of the empty corner to start with. Kentucky's so good with that action.
How about Kentucky has 7 field goals. They have 7 assists. it speaks to the nature of their offense. They all go to spots, and Wheeler knows exactly where they are. Here's Grady, breakout. And a flush. Kellen Grady off to a good start tonight. He's got 8.
South Carolina taking a lot of mid-range jump shots to start this game.
And missing a lot of them, Jimmy. They're 4 for 15 from the floor. Kentucky, over 50%.
Kentucky only 1 foul. That's about as good a clean defense as Cal could hope for his kids on the road to start the game.
Carter, tough runner. He misses. Goes back up to tip it in. He can't. And Ware into the game for Kentucky. Wheeler's first move, put your head up, find an open shooter. That time it was Grady. He missed it. Jacob Toppin couldn't come down with it. He's in as well. Reese, so that's going to be a foul on Grady, who reached in. Got some basketball and some arm.
That Kentucky run game is full throttle to start with. There's a mid-range miss. And Kentucky comes up with it, man, and all those guys just fire out of starting blocks like a sprinter. And Grady can get out in front of the play. Tshiebwe can get out in the front of the play. Who can't is the question for Kentucky. The answer is none.
So Lance Ware and Jacob Toppin into the game. Remember, last game, it was Damian Collins who played significant minutes and, according to Cal, was the difference maker when he went for 10 and 6 rebounds against Alabama. And he said, Cal did, I got to now figure out a way to get him in. But this may not be the right game for that. Is that right?
Well, because this is a physical battle tonight. Body on body combat is what it is. And we know Damian Collins is 6'11", weighs 185 pounds. Against Alabama, it was more of an athletic game, and man, was he special Saturday night in Tuscaloosa.
Damian Mintz now into the game as Wheeler penetrated, and the bounce pass goes awry. That's a turnover. By the way, Collins is on the Jimmy Dykes diet. He's going 5,000 calories a day. You just buried for some reason, this thing of honey before the game. So I'm not sure it's part of his 5,000 calorie a day, but you went with a straight honey packet. How's that sitting?
Let's move on. Because of my days as one of the announcers for the Nathan's Hot Dog Eating Contest, that would be like eating 17 Nathan's hot dogs in a day, 5,000 calories.
Ugh. And they do that in 30 seconds. Stevenson missed, rebound, Couisnard up and in.
You ask about South Carolina's offense. Get on that offensive glass, man.
Well, somebody forgot Davion Mintz. That was a big mistake. He knocked out a 3.
How can you not get matched up after a made basket? I'm sure Frank Martin's saying the same thing under his breath. Again, a bad matchup is better than no matchup. Talk it out, point it out, get attached.
Stevenson caught it going downhill. Now he comes back into the paint and up off the window. Good move with Grady on him. They got to get some stops, though. Kentucky shots are coming, and they're easy shots. Like that. Great pass, Wheeler to Ware, and it rolls in.
Ravi, that's basketball in a nutshell. The quality of our shot versus the quality of your shot. So far, favors the team in blue.
Levesque, that's a good shot. And a good extra pass that time by Devin Carter. Kentucky shooting 63% from the floor. They're getting great shots, and Ware went up to throw it down with his left hand, and contact at the rim. He'll shoot 2 when we come back. Foul on Wildens Levesque.
The speed in this game going both directions, just what Kentucky wants. There's no match at all, so Mintz just rises and fires. Kentucky always keeps that high slot filled with a shooter. And Ware, once again, just rolling down from the outside, and Wheeler, small as he is, great eyes, great feel, great delivery.
2 trips in here. But you tell me, Jimmy, as you look at Couisnard on the bench, can South Carolina win a game that's being played at this pace?
That is their pace. I mean, they want to, South Carolina, grind away on you on the defensive end, play fast on offense, and just come at you in waves of players. What they've already played, 10, 11 guys tonight? That's how they go about it. The problem they're having, Kentucky's ball movement has been spot on. Kentucky has 10 makes in the game. They have 10 assists in the game.
Yeah, and Wheeler's got 6, Marty.
Guys, I was just in Kentucky's huddle. John Calipari loves the pace that Kentucky is playing at, running up and down the floor, and reminded his players, if you're tired, sub out. You'll go right back in. Make sure that they're looking for Oscar Tshiebwe running. They've missed him a couple times on the quick post. He should be the first option, John Calipari tells his Wildcats.
Floater, Washington, charge.
Got to keep that elite speed that Washington has under control right there. When you get to the top of the key, Ravi, in transition as a guard, it has to serve as a yield sign, not a stop sign.
Yep.
But it's not a green light, it's not a red light, it's a yellow light. You have to read the traffic, and Washington did not read the traffic. Bam. Front end collision. Goes the other way.
Now, if they're both playing at the same pace, the fact that one team is shooting 63% and the other's 32, that's how you have an 8-point deficit, which if it continues is only going to multiply.
Yep.
And you're right, Frank Martin keeps trying to press the right buttons. He's got Jacoby Wright, who just launched that shot. That's too strong. Bryant ripped it away from Tshiebwe, threw it up and in. Aggressive play, Keyshawn Bryant.
That's their ability, South Carolina, to climb on that offensive glass. At times, they will gain rebound on the offensive glass.
Who would have thought this? Offensive rebounds, Carolina 7, Kentucky none. Now Kentucky's made most of their shots. There haven't been chances for rebounds.
Well, that South Carolina defense sticky so far. Can you stay in front of the ball? Late clock.
High screen from Tshiebwe. Mintz. Floater no good. Look at Toppin go get it. And that's their first offensive rebound. And Jacob Toppin is going to go to the free throw line.
Now, if you're talking about South Carolina's offensive rebound numbers, I mean, just go get it. Keyshawn Bryant is as good of an athlete that this league has from that 3 position. And South Carolina sending 3 to the offensive glass right now just to try to generate some points.
Oscar Tshiebwe, Mr. Double-Double himself, has 1 rebound so far. We're midway through the first. Next on ESPN, what a game. Illinois and Purdue. The first game was terrific. A battle of 2 of the Big Ten's top teams. All sorts of, we talk about physicality and size. A couple of giants for Purdue going up against Kofi Coburn. That's tonight, 9 Eastern time. Super Tuesday rolls on with Illinois and Purdue.
In that first matchup, Kofi Coburn only played, I think, 22 minutes because of foul trouble. He had 10 and 5. I will tell you this. Those bigs have a phenomenal impact on the game. Jaden Ivey from Purdue would be my choice as the #1 guy taken in the next draft, from what I've seen.
I hear you. Bryant missed that shot. And then Wilson came in, and he missed the offensive rebound follow-up. Tshiebwe from the free throw line. No good.
Kentucky forcing weak on that ball screen up top.
Well, where was Bryant going? He lost it in traffic, and then the ball on the floor. And they get Tshiebwe. They did, so a foul on Oscar Tshiebwe with a grab on a loose ball.
Rav, you heard me talk about the ball screen defense. I call you got to win the line of scrimmage. Kentucky doing a pretty solid job. They forced weak that time. The on-ball defender and the screener's defender in great chorus with one another in terms of where we're taking the ball on these ball screens.
Frank Martin has used 10 different players tonight. He keeps looking for that combination of effort and then efficiency, like making some baskets and not turning the ball over like Stevenson just did. He read Reese wrong. And that's their 5th turnover.
South Carolina has been a high turnover team, especially in SEC play. You turn that thing over 16, 17 times a game, and some of them are in the middle part of the floor at the top of the key. Those are giveaway points, and Frank Martin knows it.
Kentucky lead is 8. Kellen Grady's been their leading scorer so far tonight. He's got 8. Keon Brooks, that's an impossible shot to block. He knocks it down. Brooks has 4.
When your 4-man can drive the ball and make plays off of 2 feet, you're ahead of a whole bunch of teams in college ball. That's what Kentucky has with Brooks.
Couisnard has a height advantage over Wheeler. Yes, it was. Good call by you. Martin goes back to his bench.
You know, Keon Brooks had back-to-back games last week of combined for 47 points, and that's the ability to drive it out of the corner, get to the logo, get your feet underneath you, under your shoulders, and elevate over the top. And that's a driving force from the 4 spot for Cal.
And that beat down of Kansas, he was awfully impressive. He went for 27 and 8. Wheeler blow by, kick back, and that's not an easy pass for Tshiebwe to control. Reese, he pulls up and knocks it down.
Good breaks by Reese, right?
Really good breaks. Almost ran himself right into a shot block, though, with the guy coming from behind him. 8-point game. It's been that way since about the 3-minute mark. Mintz, they got a chance to double him in the corner, and they don't take advantage of it. And now a whistle and a 3-second violation on Tshiebwe. We're under 8. That's what the lead is right now. Kentucky 28, South Carolina 20. You got a huge SEC tilt. Arkansas playing host to #1 Auburn. We'll get an update on the other side.
Ball can score at all 3 levels.
Wisconsin up by 5. Back to Ravi, Jimmy, and Mark.
All right, guys, thanks very much, Kevin. And Jimmy has a story.
Well, the last time Arkansas knocked off a #1 team was my senior year. And we played North Carolina in Pine Bluff, Arkansas with Michael Jordan, Sam Perkins, Doherty. They were #1. And interesting, Ravi, we played 3 road games in 4 days. We played Thursday at Texas A&M, Saturday at SMU. Because of a bad storm, we couldn't fly in for that game until the day of the game. We landed 90 minutes prior to tip. Guys were throwing up on the plane and getting our ankles taped. And took down North Carolina on a short baseline jump shot by my roommate Charles Ballantyne. But that's crazy to think back. We played 3 road games in 4 days, the 4th game being North Carolina. And took him down with a guy named Michael Jordan.
Yeah, and Sam Perkins is a decent team. So is this Auburn team that's #1. Guys, we'll keep you updated. At the half, we'll get you full highlights. Bryant with 1 on the shot clock, threw it up, missed it. And loose hands, and that's going to be a foul on Martin, who came down hard on Keon Brooks. First foul on Martin. I think it feels like they've picked up their intensity for sure, which Martin has been screaming about since we saw him at the shoot-around. They've got to do a better job shooting. They are 9 of 29 from the floor.
Ravi, Kentucky with 8 turnovers in the first half, 3 of them by Sylvere Wheeler.
Yeah.
That is one of the questions I have for Kentucky. Can they win 6 in a row if Wheeler has one of those 6-7 turnover games, which he has had? And luckily, Ty Washington, who's on the bench right now with 2 fouls, is really solid with the ball. Mintz can slide over there as well, but that decision-making by Wheeler, man, this got to be really good for Kentucky to cut down the nets in March.
Oscar Tshiebwe just picked up his 2nd foul. That's with 6 minutes plus to go in the first half. Oscar's been relatively quiet by his standards. He does have 6 points. He's got only 2 rebounds for a guy that averages 15 and 15. So Ware is back in. And Kusnar throws the alley-oop, and that is a big-time flush, and that gets the crowd off its feet. Wildens Levesque.
Frank Martin goes right at Lance Ware when he checks in.
Grady to his right. A little better shooting when he goes to his left. He missed it. They get a foul on Ware.
Yeah, I agree with you on Grady going to his left. That's when he's almost automatic. There's that middle ball screen, and Lance Ware doesn't drop soon enough. Kentucky likes to use drop coverage, but Lance Ware gets, kind of attracted to the ball and stuck on it just for a step too long, and that is a problem. Marty, what do you got for us, buddy?
Jimmy, Frank Martin has told his team this is an 8-game season. It's no longer 31. Kentucky tonight, Auburn to close the year, 6 in the middle, and we have the opportunity to win them all. That would make us a bubble team. I talked to Eric Stevenson about it today. He said, look, man, if we win them all, we're 18 and 12, a bubble team. We might need to win a couple in Tampa. We have the pieces. We have the makeup. We've just been inconsistent. We have to be more consistent with our energy.
Well, they're within 4, Marty, and you can see what a job Frank Martin and his staff have done with Tshiebwe out, Damian Collins in. They have just gone right down the throat of this Kentucky defense. Lob followed by lob. Mintz, ooh, that's a silencer, hits a 3.
Mintz is actually shooting a higher percentage from 3 than Grady in SEC play. You forget about how good his stroke is, 10 in blue.
Kusnar just threw it up because they have guys going to get it. Keyshawn Bryant.
If it's a jumping contest, Keyshawn Bryant's going to win it.
Keon Brooks, that's a turnover. Another one for Kentucky. Their 9th. Get the ball to the glass. That's what South Carolina's done the last few trips down, and it's paid off. Bryant. And a whistle out top. They get Safia Wheeler.
Ravi, to your point, Tshiebwe goes out, and South Carolina starts doing really good stuff around the rim, whether it's on the offensive glass or the middle ball screen roll action. If you don't put a body on 24, he will be at eye level with the rim. Kentucky right now on their heels for the first time in this building.
Keyshawn Bryant knocks down the free throw. Points in the paint is dead even, 16-16. And likely the last 4-17, Kentucky will play without Washington and without Tshiebwe. Both on the bench with 2 fouls. Too strong for Bryant. Keyshawn has 7. He's leading the way. Levesque also.
South Carolina is a heavy fouling defensive club. Tonight, only 5 so far. It's been Kentucky that's been doing the reach and been called with a whistle.
Collins got out of the jam he was in. Wheeler, great dish, and that's Toppin. Pretty pass that time.
Yeah, Wheeler can see things below your average defender. His eye line is a little different than like a 6'1" point guard.
Collins ripped that away, but they get a foul, and it's called out top by Patrick Evans. 7 assists for Wheeler. To watch Keyshawn Bryant find his way through the trees to become the tallest. And he threw it down with his right hand. And now here's Wheeler. You mentioned he's got an eye level a little lower than others. He sees 0, who flushes for 2. 33-27 Cats. Musselman's got that team fired up. No Zep Jasper either. That's a big deal for Auburn. Marty, what's going on here?
Ravi, in the South Carolina huddle, Associate Head Coach Chuck Martin just reminded the team this is when Kentucky wants to make their late half run. It's what they do. And then Keyshawn Bryant stood up and said, fellas, it's a 4-minute game right now. Let's go win this 4 minutes.
Would start by making free throws, and the freshman Devin Carter out of Miami, Florida, missed the first one. 33-27, big story points in the paint. Offensive rebounds in particular, South Carolina 10. And Kentucky 1.
Keyshawn Bryant is one of the guys Frank has that he's not afraid for his voice to be heard. James Reese and Eric Stevenson, the 2 transfers, are the same way. That's a problem for Wheeler.
They tied him up, and then they get the foul. Reese and Carter did a good job originally, and then they started getting those hands going, and that was too much. Carter picks up the foul. Reminder, Saturday, showcase all sorts of great games. SEC, Florida will have Colin Castleton back. Kentucky at 4 Eastern time. Blockbuster, Ohio State and Michigan at 6. And how about UCLA and USC at 10 Eastern time Saturday, ESPN. That is presented by 5 Hour Energy. Toppin turnaround, 2-point shot, no good. There is an offensive rebound by Ware. They'll start again. Good ball movement, baseline jumper. Toppin right back at it.
Yeah, you can't clean up the glass if you're South Carolina, because that time they're in that 2-3 pressure the ball zone. Kentucky able to make them pay.
So you heard Marty say this is where Kentucky likes to finish the first half. 4-minute big run. That's not a good shot from Carter at all. And Wheeler picks it up, and he looks up and sees a couple of blue jerseys, including Kellen Grady. He kicks. Toppin. Jacob Toppin's got 8.
Ravi, it was an awful shot by Devin Carter is what it was out of the corner. And what does that do? It's a turnover off the glass, and Kentucky finds the backside of the floor.
You're taking bad shots like that. You allow Kentucky in the last 4 minutes to go on a big run. Mintz. No good. Offensive rebound, Jacob Toppin. And right now, this is Toppin's game. It seems like every night there's a new hero, and this may be Jacob Toppin's game.
I love the speed that Toppin plays with out of that 4 position. His game's a little bit different than Keon Brooks, but both of them are capable of punching you at the rim off the plays.
They're going to get Woodley. He set a late screen, and Mintz ran right into it. And this is exactly what Marty talked about, that Frank Martin was concerned about.
Well, you got everybody in white jersey ball watching, and that's a recipe for disaster against Kentucky. And Toppin with a little bit of shot fake into the short corner jumper. But Kentucky, you know, just watch one half of one game film. They fly at the offensive glass from the 3, the 4, and the 5 spot. South Carolina ball watching instead of blue jersey watching.
6-0 run, largest lead of the night for the Cats. And it came with less than 4 to go here in the first half, and a chance to add to it. Toppin's got 10. Grady in and out, and that should be South Carolina ball. Toppin is down. He's a little shaken up here and grabbing at his left leg. He's in some pain. It's that left ankle of his that he keeps grabbing. He and Kusnard may have gotten tied up here. Take a look at 0 in blue.
Oh yeah, just kind of rolls out on him. No contact involved, just a toe got stuck, and right there.
Yeah. Yep. Get his calf massaged right now by the athletic trainer. Jacob Toppin's been the story tonight. We talked to Calipari, and every night, whether it's Ware, whether it was Collins against Alabama, whether it's been Toppin, Keon Brooks has become more of a consistent contributor, but early this season had one of those games.
I think we talked about it last week. Kentucky's got, what, 5, 6 guys that have all gone individually 20 points or more. And Toppin with the last 8 points for Kentucky, and Tshiebwe in foul trouble. That could be a moment we need to think back on in the second half if 0 in blue doesn't come back.
So the $1:42 to go in the first half. Jacob Toppin will limp off and very likely head to the locker room for the remainder of this half and get some work on that left leg of his. And I can tell you, as he heads to the tunnel, the walk and the gait haven't improved.
Ravi, it's a critical 142 for South Carolina. Can they go into half down 7 or 8, or does this lead grow to 13 or 14? There will be a huge difference in the feel for South Carolina one way or the other.
And the veteran Martin, 10th year at South Carolina with all sorts of history at Kansas State, etc., recognized how important these last 4 minutes were. Good fight there. Levesque, ball on the ground. Ware went after it. I think we can get a foul on Ware. We are. 55 in blue gets whistled. That's his second.
You have to protect players in those loose ball, dive on the floor situations. Ware was the second guy to the ball, commits the foul.
So free throws coming for A.J. Wilson, a 64% free throw shooter. Team shoots 75%. That one is good.
Ravi, because of the high fouling rate by South Carolina, they're being outscored by 7-8 points a game from that free throw strike. Will Frank Martin go to some type of full court pressure here if there's a make?
Not a make, and Mintz is the one that grabbed it.
Well, Mintz has been really good stepping in front of those shooters on the free throw defensive plays.
I feel Wheeler, that wasn't a good shot either. And they were talking about him in practice earlier during the shoot around and his shot making ability or take ability as Kusnard went to the basket. He got fouled by Davion Mintz, so he'll shoot 2.
Ravi, to your point, the shot by Wheeler put Kentucky in a really bad spot with their conversion defense. When you got the lead, you come down, you're 1-on-4, you're 5-9 with a force. That just triggers South Carolina flooding the floor, a chance to continue to cut into the lead.
Wheeler is 0 for 3 from the floor. He's got those 7 assists, but to Jimmy's point, he's got 3 turnovers as well. Saturday, SEC Network, noon Eastern. J.D. Nota, who you'll see at the halftime. Highlights of the Arkansas-Auburn game has been terrific. Arkansas is at Coleman Coliseum. They get Shackelford in Alabama. What is going on with the Tide? You can watch this one and everything else on the SEC Network live on the ESPN app from anywhere. Talk about a test. They get Auburn tonight, and then they get Alabama, or Alabama gets Arkansas. The way Alabama's playing, there's just zero consistency on offense for Nate Oates' team.
I think Auburn's in trouble tonight. I think they're a tired ball club. I think the pressure, the weight of being number one, they're not full strength right now without Jasper. They have a problem tonight in Fayetteville on their hands.
3-point lead at the half. Again, Kevin, Seth, and LaFonce will have the highlights of that one as we get 40 seconds to go in our half. 8-point game, largest lead for Kentucky. 8. Grady threw that up. That was a pass to Ware, and he couldn't come down with it.
Grady should have shot it.
Kusnard needs it. Got it. That's a big three, and it pulls them within 5.
Like I said, the last 142 is critical for South Carolina. Are they going to go in down 13 or 14? Or is it going to be single digits? It looks like the latter.
Back here, Jimmy Dykes, Carl Ravitch, Marty Smith. Kusnard a couple years ago with a 3 at the buzzer to knock off Kentucky, and here he knocks down a 3. He's got 7 points, and all of a sudden the arena is on its feet, and they are feeling it. Now, this is not Auburn when Kentucky was leaning Auburn and Washington got hurt, but Toppin was the most effective guy for Kentucky, and he just went out with a leg injury.
Yeah, he was. The problem for Kentucky this half, Ravi, Kentucky's only averaging 12 turnovers a game. They have 10 in the first half.
Yeah. Wheeler trying to create something here with 5 to go. Into the paint, has a man open. Brooks, no good. And that's how the half will end. They got a good shot, but they were unable to convert. So we'll head to the break. 39-34. Here's Marty.
Coach, back and forth first half. What did you like? What didn't you like?
You got to rebound. You know, that's the biggest thing. And you got to play through bumps. They seem to be playing through bumps so they get fouls called. We're not playing through bumps, so we don't get any of our drives called fouls. You got to play through bumps. But if we don't rebound, we won't win the game. And our guards gave up as many as our bigs.
Thank you, Coach. Appreciate your time.
Thanks, Marty. 21 rebounds for Carolina, 19 rebounds for Kentucky. And the offensive rebounds, all Carolina, 11-3. Kusnard's 3 makes it a 5-point game. Studio now, Kevin DeGandhi, LaFonso Ellis, and the coach, Seth Greenberg. Welcome back to Super Tuesday. It's presented by Progressive. And the SEC, the top teams getting challenged tonight right here. Kentucky taking on the South Carolina Gamecocks 39-34. We'll keep you posted on Auburn, #1 team in the land. They're dealing with a very feisty Arkansas team. Marty Smith in just a few minutes. Jimmy Dykes, Carl Ravitch, welcome back. This arena is a lot louder than it was when we started this, and part of that has to do with the way the game started and certainly the way that it progressed, with the offensive rebounding being a big story for South Carolina.
Yeah, this fan base is feeding off the energy that South Carolina is putting on the offensive glass. Think about this, Ravi. South Carolina has grabbed 45% of their misses in this game. If you're Kentucky, you want that number to be 30% or less. And just doing heavy work. Guys like Bryant, man, they're just out jumping people and out working people. And that's an area that Cal told Marty going into halftime, we got to get that fixed in the second 20 minutes. If not, South Carolina's going to hang into this thing all the way to that final buzzer.
They didn't shoot very well, 35%. Kentucky was over 50%. The offensive rebound's a big story. Tshiebwe had only 2 rebounds, 2 fouls. He missed a bunch of time. Jacob Toppin is not going to return. And Ty Washington did not give them a great deal. 2 points. He played only 8 minutes.
That's a big loss, Jacob Toppin, because there was no stopping Toppin in this building. He had 10 points in just 6 minutes.
Did you do that on purpose?
No,
it's just who you are.
Just natural reaction.
Stopping Toppin. Levesque, who'd that go off of? It went off of Levesque. Turnover for South Carolina. Here's Marty.
Talked to Frank Martin exiting the locker room, guys, and he said the speed early in the game, they were not ready for that. and it hurt them. He said they have to take better shots. If not, it's going to be a Kentucky jailbreak. And I was also standing beside the South Carolina huddle. And it was interesting because Keyshawn Bryant stood in the middle of it, looked at his teammates and said, y'all ain't showing me you want it. Do you want it? Show me. We shall see.
We saw Washington makes the first one. Meantime, three-pointer, that's good from Stevenson. Eric Stevenson averaging a little over 11 a game. The transfer out of Washington had 20 points earlier this year against Georgia. And his 41 three-point field goals leads the team coming in tonight. That was his 42nd of the season.
Well, you can't let Stevenson run into a shot. I mean, he's being guarded by Grady. A shooter should know how to guard a shooter.
Bryant all the way to the basket. Washington with a couple of fouls just backed off. And we are down to a 2-point game. And here comes the crowd again.
Kentucky only got the foul line 4 times in the first half, 3 points. On the average, opponents against South Carolina are getting 17 points a game. To Calipari's remark to Marty, they got to drive the ball hard, man, and get the officials into the game on their offensive end.
Offensive rebound, Brooks to Grady, the runner. Boy, last couple of trips down, Grady and Washington, some floaters.
Grady is guarding Stevenson, so it's like he's guarding himself. Be there on the catch and give no airspace. Make him put it on the deck. You ever try to guard yourself?
I guess when you're shooting in the driveway, yeah, you try to play a little defense or pretend. How about that offensive rebound? And they keep battling Levesque, and it's going to be Kentucky running out with it.
It's hard to outwork Kentucky on the glass, but South Carolina doing it so far. Watch Kellen Grady. He goes underneath and runs right into the screen on Stevenson to start the second half. That's a shooter guarding a shooter that should know better. And the runways to the rim, hard against Kentucky. Bryant finds it.
Bryant leading the way with 9. A whole bunch of balance scoring. Levesque 8, Stevenson and Kusnart 7 each. Meantime, Grady's got 10. Toppin, who was not going to return after rolling that ankle, he had 10 in the first half. They want to get Tshiebwe going, certainly with his rebounding. And Wheeler, not a good shooter, misses a 3. That gets a stare from Calipari. Kusnart, it's open. He lays it up and in. It was a big screen by Levesque that was set.
South Carolina not afraid at all to double down hard off of Severe Wheeler, and Wheeler took the bait. There's a reason why he was wide open. That's the shot South Carolina wants Kentucky to settle for.
We get Kusnart on a foul. Calipari has been working the officials on the sideline. He's been in the ear of Patrick Evans the entire half.
Frank Martin told us today during South Carolina's shoot-around that if Jermaine Kusnart and Keyshawn Bryant play to their potential, just consistently play to your potential, they're a completely different basketball team. We are certainly seeing that tonight as they are contributing in a huge way.
Marty, they're 11-1 this year when both those guys are in double figures. That's how important they are.
Tshiebwe missed a bunny. Those two guys Marty talked about, 18 points between them. Chance to grab a lead. 3 misses, offensive rebound. And that's where you miss guys like Toppin.
Just getting outworked is the team in blue on that glass.
Boy, Wheeler knows one speed, threw it up. Oh, all sorts of bodies flying. We got 3 on the ground.
3 on 2.
3. No good. Rebound, Kusnart. Bryant gets it. We're tied at 43. And right now, the Gamecocks are outworking the Cats.
It's hard to punk Kentucky. And right now, South Carolina is doing it.
Team has been mesmerized by Tshiebwe's ability to grab rebounds in traffic all season long. He's got 3. And a turnover for Kentucky, and this place is going bonkers. It's so hard to win on the road in the SEC and everywhere else. And tonight, Kentucky's in trouble. Auburn's in trouble. We're back. It's 43-43. Keyshawn Bryant, 22 minutes, 11 points, 8 rebounds.
Perfect example of a guy you don't run plays for. You turn him loose and let him go make plays. South Carolina, Ravi, has 14 offensive rebounds. Just offensive rebounds. 27 on the game to Kentucky's 22. And they have just been jackhammering around that restricted arc and in when that ball's on the glass. A missed shot for South Carolina in this game is not a bad play at all.
The other story that's developing, obviously, there's no Jacob Toppin. He had 10 points in the first half, and then he rolled his ankle and is not coming back. Xavier Wheeler is 0 for 5 in this game. You've got to go back 2 games ago, then to the second half of Kansas for the last time he made a shot.
He has missed, Xavier Wheeler, his last 19 in a row. To my point, there's a reason why he was open 3 or 4 possessions ago.
Yeah. Hand off to Kusnard. He lost it. And an easy one here for Washington.
Man, that's irritating for Frank Martin to come out of a timeout and let your dribble handoff be blown up and give up an easy 2 when you had all the momentum in the building.
Oh, Kusnard got caught between the alley-oop and the shot. He ended up shooting it. And then Bryant missed. Here's Washington. He got bumped. Yeah, that's going to be a foul. There was contact before. And then Levesque was able to block the shot. But that's because he knocked Washington down to the floor.
You've got to expect the contact against South Carolina and know that it's coming. That's a legal hard play at the rim is all it is. And Kentucky's, they got to get some points going now from this free throw strike. Every other team makes South Carolina pay for how physical they are, and Kentucky has to play through the contact and get to the line the last 15 minutes of this game.
Washington's a good free throw shooter, 77%. Wonder how they get Kellen Grady back involved in the offense.
Well, since there's a no help on Grady defensively right now, you're not coming off of him because of his gravity ability. I talked about it Saturday night. Kellen Grady could be a good screener, or you certainly drive the ball to the same side as Grady, knowing that there's no help coming off.
Carter to the basket. Tshiebwe that time went straight up, and he blocked it. No foul called.
Bad shots get blocked.
Alley-oop. Hey, found Keon Brooks. He put up that right hand, and Frank Martin is going bananas right now on his point guard.
He's saying something similar to what I said. Bad shots get blocked. You drive this thing, and you don't understand as a freshman point guard, it's hard to win this league. But you go up right there, and Tshiebwe's waiting on you. You just force that thing up with a crazy horse shot. That will not work. And Kentucky comes right back with their own run game, running off of stops. To the chin to start the second half, but they blow up a dribble handoff action by Ty Washington. And in the very next couple of possessions, Tshiebwe, legal defender inside the restricted arc, can go up all game long and throw up a body wall. That just ignites that Kentucky run game. A nice response by Kentucky to South Carolina's charge.
Fellas, you were talking a few moments ago about Xavier Wheeler struggling offensively. John Calipari in the huddle just now addressed the entire team. But he was talking to Wheeler when he said, look, guys, we got some guys struggling offensively. Play through it. You don't have to score to have the biggest impact on the game. Push through it, keep playing hard, and it's going to work itself out.
Well, right in front of Calipari, Wheeler just committed a foul. Exactly. Trying to stay in front of Carter. I'll say this about Carter. I imagine his thinking going down the other end and challenging Tshiebwe was, I had just seen a similar play. You mentioned legal defender. Levesque was not a legal defender on that play that Washington drew the foul?
Yeah, Levesque came in on the side of the shooter. Tshiebwe was a little more squared up.
Okay.
Boy, you just can't turn that ball over like South Carolina's doing.
Kellen Grady gets back into the offensive flow. He's got a dozen. All of a sudden, the lead climbs back to 7 on a 7-0 run.
Ravi, what I like about Kentucky, they can beat you with their offense. They can also beat you with their defense.
A very quiet night for Oscar Tshiebwe. 6 points, 4 rebounds. Carter Threw it up, offensive rebound, put back up and in.
It is amazing what South Carolina is doing to Kentucky on the offensive glass. Now their 16th offensive rebound is the only reason they're staying in this game.
Absolutely. Wildens Levesque's having a good game. He's in double figures with 10. Washington, the pull up quick, too strong. No chance for an offensive rebound. 3 white shirts and ahead. Brooks, good defense, like a defensive back. And we had the old ball coach Steve Spurrier here with Shane Beamer during the halftime. The defensive secondary stepped in front, knocked it away.
Cal doesn't really put a bad defender on the floor. Even a guy like Grady, who's a specialist offensively, can deny and overplay and pressure and run through stuff.
Alley-oop, yes they did. Jermaine Couisnard right over Davion Mintz. Good out-of-bounds play for Frank Martin.
That was a mismatch out-of-bounds special by Frank Martin. Mintz was matched up on Bryant, no contest. Davion Mintz is 6'1", and he's going to get beat right there. He's right in front of the rim. That's just a mismatch call by Frank Martin for Couisnard. Sorry, it's Couisnard, but still he's 6'4", 6'5", being guarded by Mintz in front of the rim.
Foul on top on Reese, and Jimmy here with 13-20. They already have 4 fouls. Kentucky only has 1. Down low, Tshiebwe, big body, and he just used Levesque. That's 2 massive men banging against each other.
You see the shoulder contact and separation that it got Tshiebwe, and that's grown man stuff.
Stevenson threw it up. Tshiebwe grabs a rebound in traffic. See if they go back in the 34 again. She works on Wildens Levesque.
Cal not afraid to grind away on the offensive end, especially on the road. He did it at Alabama Saturday night.
Tshiebwe, he's made that shot a lot this year, and he missed it there. Couisnard down low, Levesque. Good look, Tshiebwe ahead, and Washington found him for the flush.
His ability and his willingness to run is uncommon, and it's his first 3 steps. I didn't have an eye on it at that time. I'm just telling you, his first 3 steps are as fast as anyone in college ball, 6'10" or taller.
Mintz all the way to the basket, and we're going to get a block. It's called underneath, and it's going to send Davion Mintz to the free throw line. And all of a sudden, Oscar Tshiebwe is into double figures.
Look at Tshiebwe just seal his guy off. Watch his shoulders right here. Watch. Bam, right there. Just gets in just enough to get some separation. He just blew up a wall. Look at Tshiebwe, man. Bam, bam, bam. Those first 3 steps finish off at the other end. Such a humble, joyful, spirited, thankful kid that I think he and Mintz kind of control the pulse, the tone of Kentucky.
Well, the biggest difference for Kentucky this year, how old they are.
Yeah.
I mean, this is so anti-Calipari recently with the one-and-done guys. They are mature everywhere you look. Grady, Mintz, Tshiebwe. I mean, Ty Washington is the only freshman having a significant impact, and you're used to seeing 3 or 4 guys.
Yep. Ravi Old wins national championships.
Yeah.
Just go back and look at the last 4 or 5 that we had, and Kentucky's got all the stuff to get there. Not saying they're going to win it, but they are one of the favorites right now as we approach the middle of February. Get your hands off.
Quick whistle against Davion Mintz. Foul on Kentucky. We'll take a timeout. That's Mintz second. The Big O, they like to call him, who came into this year saying he wants to average 20 boards a game. He's right at 15, and now all of a sudden the points are coming. He's got 10. Not about the X's and O's, it's about Jimmy's Joes.
Well, this year, if you're going to win a national title, you're going to have a heck of a low post presence. We know the leading rebounder in college ball, Tshiebwe. Walker Kessler's a real problem. I think he's got a double-double tonight in Arkansas, 12 and 12, a 7-1 kid. You know, Kofi Coburn is the Shaq of college ball. This guy coming up on our air after this game is going to go head-to-head with Travion Williams, who is the best low-post passer for a 6'10", 255-pound kid. We kind of forget about Drew Timme. I'm telling you, come March, his fight, his moxie, his grit, his arrogance is going to be hard to handle Ravi, you're going to win a national title this year. You're going to have a body that can hold up against guys like that. There's some others. But, man, those Joes right there, man, they are a load.
Reese out of the timeout. Launched to 3. Couldn't get it to go. And Tshiebwe's all of a sudden starting to pile up both points and rebounds. Ty Washington, a dagger 3 right there. He's got 10, and the lead has grown to 11.
Impressive pace by Washington, working off that conversion drag ball screen. Didn't get sped up, got exactly where he wanted to be.
How about that quick release, Jimmy?
Yeah. Hurts in so many ways, Kentucky can.
Really nice backdoor move there. A cut by Reese and a good feed.
Burn it off, man. Burn that pressure off if you're South Carolina with those back cuts every now and then.
Washington with 8 on the shot clock, way out top. He's got Damian Collins, who has it, takes it, and misses.
Just not strong enough yet to play through the contact on the drive.
Kusnard. That's no good. Offensive rebound. Martin banged into by Davion Mintz, and they're going to get Mintz with a foul. Damian's got 3. Super Tuesday. It's coming up next. Jimmy just talked about it. Your Joes. I assume Joes means just lunch pail guys, hardworking guys. That's what the Jimmy Joe's all about.
And you play at Purdue, that's exactly who you have to be.
You bring your hard hat, you bring your lunch pail. That's coming up next, Illinois and Purdue. Looking forward to that. Meantime, shot blocked underneath. Tshiebwe rips it away, and he's starting to assert himself in this game. Wheeler back into the game. As is Keon Brooks, who has it here, and he will shoot from the free throw line and knock it down. It's become a very comfortable area for Keon Brooks to make shots.
You got to guard them all. Other than Wheeler and his perimeter shot, you have to guard everybody that Cal puts on the floor.
Bryant. He's had a very strong game. Keyshawn Bryant, not only rebounding, scoring, he's got 13. They're waiting to get Stevenson back in the game. This is a critical part here. 9-11. Going to keep it there. Tshiebwe from Wheeler with the alley-oop.
Once again, Cal goes empty corner, 2-man game between Wheeler and Tshiebwe, and it pays off both times in this game.
Whoa. Banks in a 3. Kusnard. They'll take it any way they can get it.
Even the South Carolina coaching staff put their head down, like started shaking it like, you got to be kidding me. It's okay. It went in.
Great pass. Wheeler, Tshiebwe. And what a second half Oscar Tshiebwe is having. 8 points, 5 rebounds in the second half.
It just seems like when Calipari really needs a basket, very confident calling that 2-man game between Wheeler and Tshiebwe, as he should be.
Yeah, Wheeler has 9 assists. Bryant, we just saw this shot go down, not that time. And the Big O picks up another rebound. He's moving towards another double-double. Mintz corner 3. No good. Tshiebwe had it, and he got fouled. Oscar Tshiebwe picks up an offensive rebound.
Again, this is an empty corner to operate out of a 2-man game, so there's no help defender to worry about. Set it, the corner's empty, roll out of it. Just a naked roll for Tshiebwe to operate off of. Tshiebwe is so good. Big O getting his big keister right in front of the rim on both ends. That is where he lives.
So we asked Calipari during his shoot-around today, is there anything that you haven't seen in your experience before from any of your current players? You know, physically, they're all in the same category.
Right.
He's seen the best. He said Tshiebwe's work ethic, no one could have imagined what he's been able to do work-wise, and he's putting it in again tonight. He's got 14 and 9. He's going to have a double-double. But there are certain things that even a coach like Calipari, who's been around for so long, can leave an impression, Marty, and Tshiebwe's work ethic is one of them.
Yeah, Ravi, you're talking about the work ethic. I want to follow up on something Jimmy mentioned in the first half about that message that Tshiebwe's father sent him. Look,
yeah.
he went home recently to Congo, and he saw how his family is living. He saw the conditions in which they're living. He told me today, man, I'm playing for my family. I play this hard because I'm trying to change a lot of people's life situations. When he went home, he saw how they were living, and he told himself that hard work can change that for them. And that is a motivation every single day for Oscar Tshiebwe.
No, it is. He went home. His mom was there. His dad is no longer here. His mom was living. He has siblings with kids. There were 10 of them in a home. Well, Oscar actually stayed in a hotel when he was there because there was no room for him in the house. Way off with that three, Kusnard. Here's Wheeler, who just saw the ball actually go through the basket. Now the assist to Keon Brooks. And the largest lead of the night for the Cats.
Wheeler has the ability to get all the eyes on him as he brings that ball up, and you forget about, well, you know, where are the lane runners? Where are the rim runners? That time it was Brooks.
Wheeler's got 10 assists, and Frank Martin's animated sideline behavior has been dulled a little bit here with this big run by Kentucky. They find Levesque. Yep, good pass. Tshiebwe says it's on me. He had his back turned.
Calipari may start grinding away with his offense with play calls. You know, taking a lot of shots, Ravi, maybe 10 or less on the shot clock.
Wide open, Davion Mintz finds the bottom, and they go to 70 and lead by 14.
Or shoot it with 20 on the shot clock. Davion Mintz, 43% from 3 in SEC play. It's quiet, sneaky how good his stroke is, Mintz.
There's a block on Wheeler. Well, they're spreading it around. 6 different Wildcats have got double figures, including Keon Brooks with 10. Davion Mintz here, he's got 10. Keon Brooks, he himself into double figures with 10. Back here, 70-56. And all of a sudden, Kentucky has opened up a 14-point lead. They're shooting 62% in the second half. And again, with everybody back on the floor after that foul trouble in the first half. Out of bounds, three-point play for Stevenson. That missed, and Tshiebwe now has a double-double. Picked up his 10th rebound.
Severe Wheeler had 3 turnovers, I believe, in the first half.
Yeah, he did.
Has not turned it over since, and he now has 11 assists. Kentucky with 23 assists in the ballgame, Ravi, off their 29 makes. They've been really good, man, spraying that ball around.
Yeah, Wheeler went behind his back. Tshiebwe, he did extend that left arm.
You'd think you two have done this before. That was very astute. In the Kentucky huddle, John Calipari just looked right at Severe Wheeler and said, this is exactly what I told you. That's how you do it. Assists, defense, you're impacting the game bigger than anybody else without scoring the basketball, basically validating the message that he sent to the team previously. Defensively, he told the team they are getting so much scoring off of action to the elbow. We have to be more aggressive in limiting that movement, Jimmy.
Yeah, you want to push those elbow touches out a little bit through Kentucky, and South Carolina is so good at curling the jump shots at the elbow. You try to push those out as well.
Look out.
Watch out.
Yeah, Stevenson had it. Over the top came Keon Brooks. And the call is going to be on Keon Brooks. They both went for it.
Illegal play by Ware. He can go straight up. And, you know, Brooks he gets his hands on the ball first, but then comes over the top of Stevenson.
Was that just impossible to have a no call because of all the contact?
Just like, everybody looks at each other like, what just happened? Rev, I had 2 NBA scouts text me at halftime saying, are you serious about Jaden Ivey, #1 pick?
I was gonna bring it up, although I do think he's going to be a tremendous pro.
Okay.
And maybe have more impact than somebody like Tshiebwe or Jabari Smith or Holmgren. That's where I can, you know, if the team says, look, I'm looking for the future, as Ware blocked that, I think Ivey's going to be an impactful pro.
Just watch this game coming up after ours. He will make at least one play in the game that looks different than anybody else in college basketball for a 6'4", 200-pound guard. He just looks different than other dudes on the perimeter in the college game. He looks like a pro is what he looks like.
Stevenson missed again. Bryant went to get that, and he tried to shuffle past it, deflected. It'll stay this way. So you think about Ja Morant. Similar player,
yes,
but he didn't go #1.
Ivey is bigger than Ja Morant, but that same downhill explosive,
no doubt,
punching at the rim like, wow, where did that come from type stuff.
In hindsight, do you draft Morant 1 now that you see what he's been able to do?
Yeah. I'm not patting myself on the back. I said all along, man, that's the guy you got to take first. Like, you don't have to watch a lot of ball to just see this guy's different than other people. Jaden Ivey's different than other dudes.
Stevenson, there's another foul. Calipari's getting down on the officiating here. And that's the 4th foul on Davion Mintz. Here's the best available as far as your 2022 NBA draft prospects go. We just mentioned Holmgren. We didn't mention Banchero, but he's up there. So is Jabari Smith.
You're not going to go wrong with any of those first 3, but I'm just telling you, Jaden Ivey, from what my eyes tell me and guys I talk to.
There's an interesting one there at 7. Shaedon Sharpe, who is here with Kentucky and sitting on the bench. Calipari and Sharpe's family have acknowledged he's not going to play this year. So the plan is, at least today, that he comes back and he's the star, or one of the stars, on next year's team.
Yeah,
but we just had him as number 7 on the NBA prospect list.
So just think of all the noise, not just for Shaedon Sharpe, but all those guys. And you can't escape the noise. Frank talked to us about it today, about the pressure that his guys feel on social media after a win, after a loss. You can't escape it. But that's a very consistent message from Kentucky right now, from Cal to Shaedon Sharpe's family. Practice now, play next year for the Cats.
Cal just called the 4th player. That's Brooks, who tried to get it to Tshiebwe, but it just got knocked out of his hand before he could deliver the pass. Needing points, Carolina. They can't get that shot to go. Tshiebwe, another board and a run out. Watch out for Oscar. He was open down low, and Ty Washington pulled it back.
Will Cal grind away now with play calls? No, you're at 19. He's just not got the play signaled in. This will not be a rushed offense by Kentucky to close out this game. It shouldn't be.
Oscar Tshiebwe has 14 points and 11 rebounds. That alley-oop is too high.
It was too high, and South Carolina, they ate it up. They stayed attached to Tshiebwe and didn't come off of him. And that's the play we showed in the open at Kentucky. They're just lethal at it, man.
South Carolina has been brutal from the 3-point line. They're 2 of 9 this half and 3 of 18 overall. And we just saw Texas win last night. I think they were 3 of 20 against Kansas. They did win. There's another one from Kuznar, and he buries it right in front of the bench. Back to single digits.
Keep talking stuff about us, Carl Ravitch.
I'm all about a close game, whatever it takes.
I hear you, man. I hear you. I like it. Whoa.
Washington, another quick release. Boy, is he smooth. That's a 2. You can see why Ty Washington is high up on the NBA prospect list.
Ravi, think about the confidence of Washington out there with a bunch of guys that are 23, 24 years of age.
Wildens Levesque. There is a 15-footer. He's got 14. And South Carolina hanging around with 4 1/4 to go.
Kentucky needs to stay patiently aggressive on the offensive end. There's a fine line. They're going to go 2-circle for Washington again.
He checks the clock quickly with 7 to go on the shot clock.
That's good action.
The floater, Ty Washington.
That is so good. It was a smoke screen by Brooks that freed up Washington to get to the paint.
Boy, Washington had Levesque for a second. They switch off Kuznar. No good. Oh, what a tip in by Keyshawn Bryant.
He has been fantastic on the offensive glass all game long.
Big trip. And there's a steal. Carter ahead of Wheeler. Lays it up and in. Big trip right there for the South Carolina defense. Back to 7 with 3:20 to go.
Kentucky just can't put South Carolina away. And now Frank Martin has this thing down to the last 3 minutes.
Boy, Keon Brooks just laid a huge screen on Carter. He's down and dazed. We're going to get a foul call down here. And Kentucky has seen this act several times when Xavier Wheeler has ran into a screen. That time it was the freshman Devin Carter right into Keon Brooks, and he is shaken up. But back on twice we've seen Xavier Wheeler run into screens and get knocked out of games. Devin Carter took a hit here from Keon Brooks. Legal play.
That's a legal play. That's just a smash screen is what it is. You're just kind of getting the pressure off of your ball handler in the backcourt. Nobody calls it out for South Carolina. Kentucky fans very familiar because it's happened to Severe Wheeler a couple of times this year. It's a legal play, hard contact, part of the game.
Oscar Tshiebwe, big free throws. 7-point game, looking for his 15th point of the night. Does not get it. Deshaun Bryant pulls down another rebound. That's his 14th tonight. How good has he been?
Can you drive the ball and get to the foul line if you're South Carolina? You're now in the bonus. Use it to your advantage.
Carter, really tough pass. Really tough pass. Right at the feet of Bryant. It trickled off of his leg, and it's going to be a turnover.
It was not there. The freshman point guard again trying to force it. And compounds the problem. Not only was it not there, he threw it with one hand, so he has no chance of bringing the ball back once he reads the defense.
And that was a big, big play right there. That turnover had a chance to cut it down to 5. And now Kentucky's going to go to the free throw line.
So hard, Ravi, in this league, man, when your freshman point guard has to be on the floor for major minutes trying to close things out. He's a good athlete. He's a tough kid.
No doubt.
But his assist-to-turnover ratio is way out of balance.
And for Severe Wheeler, who struggled shooting, his free throw shooting has been terrific, almost 85%. College hoop doubleheader Thursday. Check out the women of South Carolina. They are #1. Ross Taylor's got herself a terrific team. They play Kentucky and then a men's Big Ten battle. Purdue and Michigan. Both games on ESPN. See Oscar Tshiebwe trying to calm down Severe Wheeler as we do a little wardrobe addressing. Free throw made by Wheeler.
Six guys, Ravi, in double figures for Kentucky. Their balance packs so much power.
Carter. No. Brooks, that's going to be on Keon Brooks. As Wildens Levesque had it. Keon Brooks second. And they'll shoot 1-on-1. Such a big turn of events. Carolina had the ball with a chance to cut it to 5. They turn it over. It goes to now 9. And the free throw is no good with 2:39 to go.
Ravi, South Carolina has taken 75 shots in the game compared to Kentucky's 55 shots. Yeah, Kentucky has been so good and so efficient with their offense. Well, they got that 9-point lead.
Carolina's winning the battle of the boards 40-36. They've had a lot more opportunities. And Washington's shot no good. There's a rebound. Keon Brooks back up and in.
Gives you a little bit of everything, doesn't he, Keon Brooks?
He really does. And on a team with a bunch of superstars, he doesn't get a lot of the publicity. You talk about Joe, he's a Joe.
Yeah, he's a good Joe. He's not your average Joe.
And that feels like Kentucky's in complete control after that miss. Frank Martin kind of reclined on the scorer's table over there.
What's Tshiebwe up here now? 14 and 13. Kind of a quiet night for him, right? And he's got 14 and 13 on the road and had a battle foul trouble.
Calipari described Ty Washington as the silent assassin. He'll end up with 15 and 9. He goes to the hoop, no good. Tshiebwe picks up an offensive rebound and puts it back in. In a nutshell, Oscar Tshiebwe, 15 points, 16 I should say, and 14 rebounds.
Ravi, no one in college ball gets to the front of the rim more consistently or quicker or with more power than Oscar Tshiebwe. No one.
And I don't know who's in much better shape. He just wears you down. Bryant, straight on 3, gets it to go. It's a 10-point game with 1:24 to play. All right, Jimmy, take a look at our Capital One rewarding performance, and we'll give it to the big O, the big double-double, Oscar Tshiebwe.
Yeah, Oscars could win an Oscar at the award ceremony. He's uncommon with his speed. He's uncommon with his heart. He's uncommon with his feel around the rim. And again, he owns the prime real estate on any basketball floor is right in front of the rim. and he has a really big castle that he works out of right in front of the rim. That is his home.
And you know about castles.
Castle, Lexington, be there Saturday.
It's a 10-point lead. Tshiebwe now 16-14. So you talk all about your Valentine, your heart, your effort, your ability to outrun, out-hustle. And yet there is a knack or a nose for the basketball, right? I mean, he understands how it's coming off the rim. There's got to be another level to his ability to get the basketball.
Yes, absolutely. His feet find the ball. What you think about that? His feet find the ball. Now he reads the ball, but for the most part, his feet are taking him right to the front of the rim. So now he's playing the percentages, and he can go rebound right, he can go rebound left. Obviously, he's eating basketballs when they come off at the front. But watch his feet find the ball. Even this last replay, watch this. Go get it. Where's your feet? Where's your feet? Boom, get your feet under the ball and just elevate up and go get it. He's not reaching for many rebounds, Ravi. He's getting under the ball with his feet first, then exploding up top with the two hands that are like vice grips.
Yeah, and we talked about his whole story with his mom back home and playing for the family. I mean, a lot of guys, Jimmy, after a first half like he had, would think maybe this isn't my night. He's played this right into another his night. And I thought it was interesting, too, when Wheeler was being told, tuck your shirt in, whatever. It was Tshiebwe's voice who you heard there talking to Wheeler, who's a veteran himself.
Right? He's talking to him again right now. He controls the heartbeat of Kentucky. Oscar Tshiebwe does. And every Kentucky kid will tell you the same thing.
They survived the injury, too, to Jacob Toppin.
That's a lot of numbers, right? That's a lot of numbers. Guys in double figures. The last time John Calipari had 5 guys average double figures, they cut down the nets in the national title game.
That's right.
And they're right there again.
That was Anthony Davis, Kid Gilchrist, Lamb, Terrence Jones, Marquise Teague. That ball good. 9-point game. Watch out. Oh, what hands by Grady to Tshiebwe for a dunk. That was an incredible play by Kellen Grady to keep the ball in bounds. And of course, Tshiebwe was ahead of the field with everybody. 30 seconds to go as they throw that one up. And that one goes in as well. Boy, Reese buries a 3. So it stays 9, and they'll call a timeout. Auburn and Alabama overtime. Bud Walton Arena. Very difficult for Kentucky, I think, to overtake Auburn. Remember, they lost to them and win. But if you've watched Ken Palm and other, you see that the feeling amongst many people, in spite of Auburn being #1, their grip on the #1 overall seed slipped a little bit because of that struggle against Georgia. And Kentucky is gaining momentum big time.
So you have to think, where is Auburn going to get 2 losses in this league? Because they own the head-to-head of Kentucky. And it's at Bud Walton and maybe at Tennessee would be the most likely cases. But those are strong, too, at the top of the SEC. And then Tennessee, Alabama, Arkansas, they're all capable of being in the Sweet 16. Speaks to the depth of this league. LSU's going in the wrong direction. Florida's starting to play their way back up with a healthy Colin Castleton. A big one tomorrow night for Mississippi State. A big opportunity. If they beat Tennessee, the next time you read that graphic, Mississippi State will be one of the last 4 in.
For sure. So let's say Auburn doesn't lose tonight and they win out, and yet Kentucky beats them in the SEC tournament in the championship. Are they both 1 seeds?
I think there's a strong argument for that to happen. Absolutely. That win, that demolish Kentucky put on Kansas, will resonate big time in that room of the selection committee if it comes down to that conversation. At least it should.
Yeah, I hear you. They foul Keon Brooks. That last shot by Reese was a 2. Here's the Cats' upcoming schedule. Saturday, Gators. That Tennessee game will be interesting because you know it's at Tennessee. The first game was a thumping by Kentucky. They still have Alabama February 19th at home. Who knows what Alabama... It's interesting. You don't know what Alabama is. You don't know what LSU is. And that February 26th game, let's just say Arkansas ends up winning this game against Auburn at overtime. You don't think they're going to be all ramped up for Kentucky? Another chance to knock one of the SEC giants off?
Yeah, Eric Musselman's squad has found their identity. They start off 0-3, then he changes the lineup and goes big.
Happened last year, too.
Yes, sure did. South Carolina actually has one timeout left. They didn't charge him a timeout because they were checking to see if that last basket was a 3 or a 2. Gotta let it fly.
And that will do it. As Brooks gets fouled, he'll come down the other end to shoot some free throws. Never easy to win on the road. And here's another example of it as Kentucky gets tested by a South Carolina team. A smile on the face of Calipari as he hugs Keon Brooks. Carolina will fall to 4-7 in the conference, 13-10 overall for Frank Martin's team. Kentucky will win its 20th of the year and move to 9-2 in conference. They have won now 9 of their last 10.
Remember Marty's first report early. Marty was in South Carolina's huddle, and Frank was questioning the effort and the fight out of his guys.
Yeah.
They got that message because they fought their tails off in this ball game. They just didn't execute and had turnovers. They still struggled to score. But the fight factor for South Carolina was certainly there for a good 35 minutes in this game.
Carter lays it up and in, and they will hopefully let the last 9 seconds run off the clock. And they will. Tshiebwe will not take the 2. No, that will not count. He waited, and the final score 86-76. Kentucky, the Wildcats win it by 10. For Marty Smith, Jimmy Dykes, Derek Mobley, who is out. We want to wish our director the best of luck. He had a snowboarding accident. Thankfully, he's doing okay and feeling fine. They're just checking to see if that last basket by Tshiebwe counted. And I think it clearly came after the clock had expired and the light on the scoreboard had lit up, so no basket, and it will stay a 10-point game. Mike Ireland filling in as director, and of course our producer Scott Matthews putting up with Jimmy Dykes and me, Carl Ravitch, once again. Jason Benetti, Robbie Hummel have the call. Big game, Purdue, Illinois.